In the dim, misty dawn of the New World, the saga of Plymouth Rock began, a tale wrapped in mystery, reverence, and the indomitable spirit of those who dared to dream of freedom. When the Mayflower anchored off the rugged, unforgiving coast, the Pilgrims, forefathers and foremothers of the Yankee Nation, faced the promise and peril of an untamed land. With hearts pounding and breath held, they stepped off the ship, greeted by a stark, looming rock at the edge of the beach. This massive stone, weathered by relentless waves, allowed them to step ashore dry-shod, their dreams intact. In time, this rock would come to symbolize their tenacity and hope. The early years were a crucible of hardship. The Pilgrims endured relentless struggles, wars with indigenous peoples, backbreaking toil, gnawing hunger, and the constant specter of death. Yet, their faith and resolve remained unbroken. Through their suffering and sacrifices, Plymouth Rock stood firm, a silent witness to their unyielding spirit. This coarse, sea-stained rock became their cornerstone, a beacon of hope that guided them through the darkest times. As decades turned into centuries, Plymouth Rock endured, transforming into a revered symbol of liberty and the burgeoning American dream. Encased in a protective stone canopy and surrounded by an iron fence, the rock stood as a testament to the resilience and determination of those who first braved the Atlantic's treacherous waters. It was more than a stone, it was a legacy. But as the 18th century drew to a close, a storm was brewing. Whispers of rebellion and conflict filled the air, growing louder with each passing day. The colonies were teetering on the edge of revolution, their patience with British rule wearing thin. In the midst of this tension, the people of Plymouth and the wider New England colonies were gripped by a sense of impending doom. The Sons of Liberty, a fervent group dedicated to protecting colonial rights, recognized the profound significance of Plymouth Rock. They feared that the chaos of the coming conflict might lead to the rock's destruction or neglect. In a dimly lit tavern, the Sons of Liberty gathered, their faces set with determination and resolve. The leader, a tall man with piercing blue eyes and a voice like thunder, addressed the group in hushed, urgent tones. "We must protect Plymouth Rock. It is not just a symbol, it is our heritage, our legacy. Should we be driven from our homes, we must one day return, and the Rock of the Pilgrims will serve as the foundation stone of a stronger, freer nation." Under the cover of darkness, they moved with the stealth of shadows, making their way to the beach where the rock stood sentinel. The salty sea air bit at their faces as they prepared to undertake their solemn task. The night was eerily still, the only sounds the distant crash of waves and the occasional cry of a seabird. With great care and reverence, they set up a derrick to lift the rock from its sandy bed. The moon hung high, casting eerie shadows that danced on the beach as the machinery creaked and groaned. As the rock was hoisted into the air, time seemed to stand still. The men held their breath, their hearts pounding in unison with the rhythm of the waves. Then, without warning, a sudden, deafening crack shattered the stillness. The rock split in two, the pieces tumbling to the ground with a resounding thud that echoed across the shore. The men stood in stunned silence, their breath visible in the cold night air. Some fell to their knees, whispering prayers, their faces pale with fear. They saw in the shattered rock a dire omen, a portent of the tumultuous times ahead. "This is a sign," one whispered, his voice trembling with dread. "A rupture between us and England. War is coming." The leader, his face shadowed but resolute, nodded grimly. "Indeed. But this broken rock will not break our spirit. It will strengthen our resolve." The news of Plymouth Rock's breaking spread like wildfire, casting a shadow over the colonies. Yet, it also ignited a fierce determination in the hearts of the colonists. 4 years later, the shot heard round the world rang out at Lexington, marking the beginning of the American Revolution. The prophecy of the broken rock came true as the colonies severed their ties with England, fighting with unyielding resolve for their freedom. The fractured pieces of Plymouth Rock became powerful symbols of the struggle and sacrifice that birthed a nation. Each fragment was preserved with care, serving as a poignant reminder of the price of liberty. The story of the rock's breaking was told and retold, becoming a legend that inspired generations. Today, visitors to Plymouth Rock can still see the fissures etched deep into its surface, a testament to the enduring principles of liberty, resilience, and hope. Each crack tells a story of a people who refused to bow to tyranny, who faced the storm with unshaken resolve. As new challenges arise, the legacy of Plymouth Rock continues to inspire, reminding all who gaze upon it of the strength and determination that forged a nation. The story of its breaking, a dramatic tale of suspense and resolve, stands as a powerful symbol of the indomitable spirit that has shaped the course of American history.